You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters, let's talk about the New England Patriots. We got a couple of folks to talk about here. Jerod Mayo, Mike Vrabel. Got a little information about the coaching search. By the way, let me just throw this out there very quick. They interviewed Byron Leftwich. They interviewed Pep Hamilton already. Now, you may be like, why? Well, Byron Leftwich, I don't know if anybody remembers, he was a hot coaching candidate, a scorching hot coaching candidate about 4 years ago. And then he ended up getting fired in Tampa Bay, actually, and has been regulated back off to college. Of course, he was an NFL quarterback. Pep Hamilton at one time was a real candidate for NFL coaching jobs, and he has fallen by the wayside. Let me just keep it real. These were Rooney Rule interviews, okay? They're both black candidates. And let's talk about some rather damning things that have come out about Jerod Mayo from a player's perspective. And one of these is like, wow, really? Back in the spring, okay, long before the season started, you had at least one player that was already doubting what it was Jerod Mayo was trying to sell in New England. Players in the NFL very quickly can sniff out fraudulent, all right, behavior out of head coaches. And that's sometimes where experience comes from. Now, I've talked about the fact, look, Jerod Mayo may have made a great head coach in another 10 years, okay? Just to give you a sort of an idea, since everybody wants to talk about race being involved here, Mike Tomlin, right? Just to let you know, Mike Tomlin was I looked it up right here. He was some kind of a coach for 12 years before he became the head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers. All right? He had college experience, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years in college, bunch of years with Tampa Bay, DC with the Vikings, and then took the Steelers job. By the way, who did he work for? Tony Dungy and John Gruden. If that doesn't tell you sort of the pedigree of where it was Tomlin came from. All right, let's just go over here. This is one of the hottest candidates going right now. Anthony Weaver may very well get a job. He's being brought up a lot with the Bears right now. Give you an idea, look at this guy's resume. All right? Keep in mind, the only thing Jerod Mayo had on his resume was 4 years as an inside linebackers coach. You've got all of these years of coaching experience from Anthony Weaver, including, and I believe this is very important, 2 years as an associate head coach with the Baltimore Ravens. Under who? John Harbaugh. Okay, and he's also worked for Mike McDaniel, Bill O'Brien, Rex Ryan, Doug Marrone. You get the point. I mean, he's got a ton of coaching experience. And when you coach that long, you see a whole lot of different things get thrown at you and get thrown at your head coaches you're working for. It's important, folks. Aaron Glenn, he's one of the top candidates right now. I think he's going to get the Saints job. All right? I mean, look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 years as some kind of a coach. Under who? Dan Campbell and Sean Payton. I mean, it matters. This matters. So let's take a look at this. This is pretty damning for Jerod Mayo. Mike Girardi this morning, Boston Sports Journal, mixed emotions in Foxborough about Mayo. This is wild. While Jerod Mayo could reach the players, most but not all, on a personal level, in other words, they like the guy. and appeal to them with a lighter approach than their former boss, Bill Belichick, the locker room murmurings picked up steam as the season wore on. He lost his own locker room. Not good, just into the first season. Questions about game plans, in-game adjustments, or lack thereof. Yikes. That's something we were sort of witnessing as he was on the sideline. You would watch Jerod Mayo and you would be like, what exactly is it that you do here? Question mark. Not good. Player utilization, inconsistent messaging, a tolerance for spring and summer mistakes being made in the fall left several players wondering if they were in the most capable hands. So, in other words, players were making mistakes and he was ignoring it. He wasn't correcting it. That's not good. One veteran told Mike Giardi, quote, I lost faith we were headed in the right direction. When? In the spring. What? Why? It felt like they were making it up as they went along. It was amazing how one day it would be this, and then the next, something completely different. He had no culture. He had no vision. Another added, it became more about looking at myself in the mirror and the guys in the room in the huddle and saying, quote, I'm leaving it out here for you because I never believed we had an edge in coaching. Wow. The dysfunction went beyond the product you saw on the field and how this coach and this team have handled their business away from it. One coach described Jelani Tavai's verbal critique of the fan base as crazy, noting that while he had his heart in the right place, he turned an unsuccessful team into an unlikable one. Yeah, the fans were immediately like, F you, dude. F you, dude. And so that tells you right there, that's damning for Jerod Mayo. It is. I mean, seriously, he had lost the locker room. Guys, for you people that are out there like the Titans ran off Mike Vrabel, well, the guy that ran him off 2 years ago just got fired today. Titans fired GM Rand Carthon. He's gone. You know why? Titans should have never gotten rid of Mike Vrabel, and the whole NFL knows it. The whole NFL knows it. All right? Adam Schefter is saying, by the way, about Mike Vrabel, if I can, he is saying, yes, Vrabel looks like the guy, but you never know. And the reason you never know, right here, there are other teams interested in Mike. I don't know if all of a sudden the Jets, Bears, or Saints are going to come stronger for him and present something that's going to convince him to go. You just don't know how that's going to work out. Well, here's my thing. Personally speaking, just, because he is now officially scheduled, by the way, to interview with the Patriots. Does anybody really believe he hadn't already been hired? Because I think they probably, don't we believe they probably interviewed him already? Honestly, maybe weeks ago at this point. The Patriots will be interviewing the person many believe is their top candidate, according to a source. The Patriots will be interviewing Mike Vrabel for their vacant head coaching position. The former Titans coach is reportedly interviewing with the Bears for their top job Wednesday. The Saints are reportedly also interviewing Mike Vrabel. And, of course, the team has also requested an interview with Ben Johnson. A lot of people are on this Ben Johnson thing, understandably. The only thing I've said it before, we've seen a lot of really damn good coordinators come into the league and not work out, right? A lot of fans are sort of out on Josh McDaniels. That's fine, but Josh McDaniels is still considered a top 3, 4, or 5 offensive mind in the NFL. Was he a coordinator this year? No. But he's viewed in the same way that teams view Shanahan, McVay, Ben Johnson. That's just where McDaniels is. Not as a head coach, but as an offensive coach, an offensive coordinator. So that's just, you never know how Ben Johnson's actually going to go. And I think, unfortunately for the fans that want Ben Johnson, I think the fact that they already just hired a first-time head coach will ultimately push them away from the table on doing it again. If you hadn't had this, let's say they had just fired Belichick just now, do I think Ben Johnson would have been more of a candidate aside from the Jerod Mayo mistake? Yeah, I think it would have been much more likely. But I also believe they're looking at Vrabel a certain way, Patriots Hall of Famer, and we got our second shot at him. We could have done it last year. We didn't. We got a second opportunity to shoot. We're not going to miss this time. So we'll have to see how that goes. I think it's hilarious that Rand Carthon, who did not have a good reputation and ran Mike Vrabel out of Tennessee, just got his ass run off himself. The little poetic justice for Mike Vrabel. And part of that is, I'm sure the Tennessee Titans owner is looking around the league going, the coach I just had is now one of the 2 top coaching candidates for like 6 jobs. And we ran him out of town. Maybe she's not so happy now. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.